The main characteristic of why we do short-term mission trips is we want to follow God, we want to know what His voice sounds like, we want to discern what His voice sounds like, and then we want to obey.
I really found out that like the stuff that I read about in the Bible, like I can do in my life. And I think that's what like AIM has really done for me. It's like made the things that I read about a reality.
Short-term missions is a program by Adventures in Missions that afford youth groups, adult individuals, adult groups, adult college students, even individual high school students an opportunity to go serve missionally.
The tool that Jesus initially used in Luke 9 and 10, He sent out His disciples kind of on an experimental basis. They didn't know what they'd see or where they really would end up, what might happen along the way. But God worked through them in the midst of the kind of the mystery of the process.
It makes you live as Jesus lived, among people who were broken, perhaps dirty, perhaps having no idea that they actually need Him.
It made God a lot more real, you know.
One of the key defining components of Adventures in Missions that has my heart is that every location that we go into, we've got a solid, screened, vetted ministry partner that we're working with in any given area.
For example, Philadelphia, New York City, Denver, Colorado, Appalachia, Belgrade, Florida, and internationally we do a lot more Latin American countries and South African countries.
Many occasions we're an answer to prayer where they've been praying for laborers to come.
You're going to, first of all, learn how to discern what God is saying and how to move out in obedience, because that's the basis of all the ministry that we do. We want to know where God is already at work and how to join Him there.
Where they just give everything of their day away and say, okay, Lord, whatever you direct us to, that's what we want to do.
Students and adults that are going back home, what we found out is that because the Lord captured their heart, not ministry models or ministry opportunities, we found that participants are going back home and they're responding, continuing to respond to the Lord.
Those principles that you learned on that short-term trip, and know that you can use those same exact things right here at your hometown.
You know that there's this longing and there's this anticipation, there's this holy curiosity inside of you that it's time for you to go, it's time for you to move, it's time for you to get on board.
We need to go and touch people for ourselves and experience the power of God through us. Like, that was where I really found out, like, I have power. Like the Holy Spirit has given me power, and like He works through me.
And I'm seeing this through the nations. I'm seeing God giving the same theme to thousands and thousands and thousands of believers.
It breaks any sense of, I get who this God is that I serve. I get Sunday morning, I get dressing up, I get acting the part, all of that stuff. When you take a trip like this, it destroys all of it.
And if you want to know how, like an STM trip is a great way to start.
He's been waiting for some laborers to go into the harvest, to intersect with them and to see His kingdom come.